And you may have seen this here. We got a special edition here of Making Sense of Real Estate. Recently, a publication put out some information that had some of us real estate agents a little bit concerned about what's going on in Tiffin, Seneca County area. So we had to do a little research here. We're already preparing numbers for the 2020 year. We like to keep records in 18, 19, 20 just to see how we're looking month in and month out, quarter after quarter, year after year. So if you did happen to see this, here, I'll show you a couple different ways then too. Right here, top of the page, above the fold, what you're getting, you're going to see a significant drop in what we're saying home sales for our December Seneca County Tiffin area here. It seemed a little off from the numbers that we've been seeing. Again, we talked a lot about area brokers, kind of looking a little deeper into this article. So what has happened then, if you reference article, she had done some research. She talked to Carl Horst, Vice President OAR Digital Affairs. Julie Adkins had got some information from the Seneca County Auditor, and I think that's pretty much the extent of the research here. So I did reach out to the reporter here, and I did get their information. We'll get into kind of what we thought maybe is a discrepancy from one or the other is. Again, from what we've been seeing. So bear with me here. I got a lot of slides to show you. I hope you like numbers. It's a big number episode. I'm a numbers guy. I love it. So if you're not, just bear with me here. We got some shocking stats here. So that's the article or the graph you may have seen. So what we like to do here then is we keep a record of all our numbers here then too. We called Julie Adkins. We talked to Carl. We talked to a lot of other area brokers, and we're looking at the numbers here. And I know I don't expect you to be able to see the screen here real well anyways, but I'll kind of walk you through that here. I'll try to get my head out of the way. So if you're looking at sales numbers, and I'll go back to this here in a second, I'm going to show you some of the graphs here. So we've got our 2019 sales numbers, and we've got our 2020 sales number. Break it down per month, per quarter, and year cumulatively then as well. So we've got it from there. I think where the big breakdown was in our numbers, some of this hard data versus what you've seen in this article and what you see that big downturn in the dip there, is the numbers that were pulled. Again, from talking with Julie and looking a little harder at the numbers that were there, looks like we were, from this article here, we're comparing total conveyances, and conveyance is a transfer of record that goes into the county auditor's, official record there, their official record keeper of the county. What we like to look at is actual arm's length transaction. So a real transaction, a real home sale. So, Bob and Betty buyer buy Sam and Sally seller's home. They're not relatives. It's not a refi. It's not whatever. It's a true home sale. We a lot of times look at just Tiffin numbers here. These, for the most part, are Seneca County. It is Seneca County numbers. So all of Seneca County numbers. So again, at a full arm's length transaction, month by month, quarter by quarter. We'll get back to these numbers here. I'll show you some of the more shocking ones here in a second. So if we go to our first graph here, kind of get an idea of what the actual transfers are looking like. So these are single family homes. Well, we keep numbers a lot of different ways, whether it be, multi-unit land, bare land, commercial properties. So if you're worried about residential property, which I think was the intent of the article, I'm not going to try to act like I know what that was, but that's a portrayal. House Hunters Pandemic Edition. We're looking strictly at home sales there. She had referenced a number of 1,018 transfers, when in fact there was much less than that, actual true arm's length transactions then. So if you're looking at 2019, hopefully you can see my screen here. The blue line is 2019. The red line is 2020. You'll see there's a pretty significant month by month increase here as the year has gone by. And the data points have gone from January 1st through December 3rd. You ask why? Because that's what the article had referenced, and that's the data that they were operating from, was from that. So you'll see there's a pretty significant increase. There's a couple instances where the numbers are maybe less month by month, but real estate is a big picture thing. You can't look at just one transaction or one small window. You got to look at the big picture there. So that's 2 years of data. We're going to go into a little more here. So bear with me here as I'm flipping through screens. Okay, our third graph starts with a year average minus December. Again, it just has those couple days in there. So average sales price, again, if you're looking 2019 versus 20, we're up 12.8% total year over year. Average price point per square foot, again, up 10.8% total. This is cumulative numbers 2019 to 2020. So from an average, again, single family homes, all of Seneca County, 2019, 68.99. This year, 76.45. Total volume. So this is number of transactions, actually homes that have sold, that have transferred with that arm's length true sales transaction. Total volume up over 14%. So 442 versus 2019's 387. So we'll take a closer look here, moving through here. And a big shout out to Sarah in our office here. She put together all these graphs for us and made a fantastic job made my job easy here to put it in front of you guys here. So I'm hoping you're liking numbers here. I got a few more and I'll get to some more shocking things. So our fourth one then here, third quarter. And so we're going to take a closer look. Again, there's a little bit of a delayed start from that, but we're going to go average sales price year over year. Again, blue is our 2000. I'm going to flip it over to that. Maybe if you can see it a little better. 2019 versus 2020. This is just third quarter. So we're looking at a smaller window. And this again references that big scary dive that she's shown. We're getting close to that December numbers there, and we'll get a little closer there. Bear with me. Average sales price up a ton, 74% in the third quarter. 50% price per square foot. Again, this is only third quarter of 2020 versus third quarter 2019, and total volume up 40%. So 158 in 2020, 113 in 2019. So we're up a ton. All right, we'll keep moving here on to our next graph here. So we're at number 5 here. So still a huge increase. Again, this is every category going up. So this is just strictly November. So we're getting real close to that big scary dive that was portrayed in the graph in the paper. So only November 2020, November 2019. The blue is, again, 2019. So average sales price up 7%. This is just for 1 month. Average price per square foot up 15%. And then total volume, number of actual transactions, 53 over 39. So there's a pretty big spike right before that December kind of decline, or what they were showing for that. Again, is showing from a 3-day window. So it's pretty hard to tell, as you can see, how big the market can shift week to week, month to month, even year over year. So you want to look at kind of a bigger picture then. So, and again, we talked to a lot of the local experts, right across the street. Julie Atkins, talked to her, called Ohio Association of Realtors, talked to Carl Horst. Another piece that we're going to talk about come beginning of the year then, instant reaction. So this is Lawrence Yoon. This is the National Association of Realtors chief economist. So this is over million plus agents over the entire United States of America here. So he's our chief economist. So jobs, this is just December 4th. The housing market has been soaring despite, subdued job market due to record low mortgage rates. It's been a big driving force with that. However, the rates will not fall further. They really can't go any lower. So jobs recovery will become even more important to sustain home buying. Jobs are also critical for commercial sales. So, and he goes on to kind of talk about that again, nationally. Real estate is local. That's why it's important you talk to your local expert in your area, wherever you're at. Talk to an agent that works the neighborhood, works your area, so you're getting the right thing, because you can take national numbers. You can take the Ohio numbers, which again are up across the board. We'll save that for the beginning of the year to kind of show you what that looks like. But our local numbers, again, are smashing what 2019's numbers were. And 2019 was a big year. All right, so we'll go on. Just got a couple more here. Bear with me here. So this is where it's getting a little more interesting here. 2020 housing market. So if we go from here, so this will tell you that the volume's kind of all over the place, but you look at the lines here, everything has kind of stayed consistent. So this is only 2020 numbers. And you notice there's a big dip there, and bear with me, I'll show you what that looks like then too. So January all the way to end of November, first couple days in December. So sales prices have continued to climb. Price per square foot stayed pretty steady. Has been on the upward tick there. And then again, the volume, the actual number of transactions, is again what was kind of referenced in the article, did take a dip in there. Why, you ask? I will show you. So if you go, our next graph, I'll try to make this where you can see it. The Ohio shutdown happened then. So we've got our first COVID case in the U.S., or what they identified as that then. So you'll see numbers were starting to dip that way then. First known case, I guess, to be here. And then March 9th, and again, this is just numbers we pulled from there, from national stats. So March 9th, first case in Ohio is identified, and you'll see a pretty significant drop from there. Then we look at the actual shutdown. March 21st through May 21st was the Ohio shutdown. So you look at that big dip, that's a pretty big explanation of why. But again, you'll see a huge recovery right after that has happened then. And even more importantly, you'll see that the number, as far as for the dollar transaction, has stayed up pretty much through the entire pandemic, all through 2020, which we know has been kind of a crazy year for everybody in every industry. But as far as for real estate numbers and sales volume, transactions, dollar amount, it's been up across the board. I'll go back to our spreadsheet here and give you some of these bigger numbers. So again, if we're going to look at, and I apologize if my face is in the way of some of this here, I'm going to kind of flip over to this. Hopefully you can see it. So 2020, and so here's our 2019 versus our 2020 numbers, month by month, quarter by quarter. So price difference, appreciate you sticking with us through a lot of this. I'll kind of go a little deeper here real quick. So sales price, number of transactions. So number of transactions for 2019 was 387 total. Again, this is directly from the Seneca County Auditor. This is numbers from January 1st through December 3rd, both 2019, 2020. 387 transactions, 2019. 2020, same time frame, we're at 442 transactions. That's a difference of 14%. So we're up 14% in total transactions on average. Our price per square foot, we're up 13%. We'll go down quarter by quarter. I'm not going to bore you with all the monthly numbers here, but this is all available here. We'll make it available to you however you want. We got this quarter by quarter. Again, price per square foot, we are up, let me see here, quite a bit almost every month. Price difference and transaction difference. So we did have some ups and downs. I'm going to try to move this over so you can see. So first quarter, we were down 27% in total price. Again, that's getting in close to the start of the pandemic and the shutdown and things like that. Then we're up 5%. Then we're up huge. We're up 74% in the third quarter. And even that little window we have in the fourth quarter, we're up 15%. Total dollar amount, again, up 12%, down 6%, up 40%. And again, that fourth quarter, showing that big dip on the paper there, we're up 10% actually. So if you look at the actual numbers, again, and not to harp on it, but actual sold arm's length transactions in all of Seneca County, we're up almost completely across the board, year over year, month over month, and quarter by quarter. So I'm not sure exactly what that big dip is and why we've got into all this. And I'm not trying to pick in on anybody or anything like that, but it does have real world impact. Just this week, we had a lot of concerned people call. And, kind of seeing that these are people looking to buy a home, sell a home. These are your friends and family in Tiffin, in Seneca County area, to where that has a real world impact. You see this graph and it looks scary. It looks bad. Like, what am I going to do? Why would I want to put my home on the market, put my family, in jeopardy if the market's not looking good? But the forecast going forward, nobody has a crystal ball. Interest rates are supposed to stay low. Again, we just listened to all the national numbers. Interest rates staying good. The market is still pretty much upside down, especially in our area. Home listings for home buyers, and there's just not enough homes to go around for the people looking to buy. We've talked about that every week on Monday. So a couple sellers I've talked to that said, I don't know if I want to put my home on the market. And that is in direct reference to what they saw in the paper, seeing that big scary drop for there. So that's why we're doing this. That's why we're showing it. We just want to get the proper information out there. We've talked to the local experts. We've talked to the Ohio experts. I've talked to a lot of real estate agents in the area, brokers in the area here. We all agree numbers are up significantly. Sales transaction price 2019, 2020. So if you're looking to buy or sell, be confident. The market's still looking fantastic. Nobody can predict what the future is going to look like, but for now we're in good shape. So make sure to check back in. We're continuing to do some more updates and some more information once we get through the holidays. And Merry Christmas, by the way. Once we get to the holidays and the start of the new year, we're going to do a real deep dive of full numbers, full year, 2019 and 2020. We might throw some other fun stats in there. So we will keep making sense of real estate. Thanks for stopping by, and